So at least I remembered. Yeah, but a lot of good things came up, and then right away I knew that there was a young boy there, and I didn't say anything to her, and she brought it right to the surface immediately, and it was really profound, and I got to feel it with her, and I got to feel it dissipating. So yeah, that was really good stuff.
Nice.
And
Autumn,
I
how
had
did,
forgotten I had forgotten the things that I'd learned with Dolores already, you know? I'm
right,
thinking when you're saying that, I was like, oh, is that a book he read? You know, because that's how long ago it feels. It wasn't
right.
even that long ago.
It was a, and it's the kind of thing where there's a lot of information, and that was in some random note in some area. It didn't seem like she really went into a whole lot of detail on it. But whatever the case is, Autumn, when you felt that memory, could you feel what the little boy was thinking and feeling?
Yeah, the interesting part, Kuil, was
Mhm.
that it was showing me a picture of the child um, in its like most sad or most intense emotion,
Mhm.
and then it was like right behind it came the message of, so like I'll give you an example. For some reason that I have never been able to explain, I have a physical aversion to redheaded men.
Hmm.
And I've never been able to. In fact, my mom and I joke about it because I'm always like, and I'm a redhead, so it makes no sense. Like, um, I'm always like, oh, redheaded men are warlocks. I don't like them. I don't want to. Like, there's something wrong with them. Get them out of here.
Right.
Um, and one of the kids, one of my past lives was as a redheaded man, and what presented to me was this little redheaded kid who was bullied and treated terrible for the way that he looked. And I mean, he just had to fight, and he was an orphan, and he had a terrible attitude, and he was just a really miserable kid.
He was just mischievous, you know. He was trying to get attention and love, really. It reminded me of from the movie Oliver, you know, only that was dressed up a lot. But you know what I'm saying? He was a thief. He ran the streets. He was a pickpocketer, but he didn't know any different.
Yeah.
So like it was really cool because I connected and I knew the story as it was unfolding, and it was like we went back there and changed that, you
Yeah, but like
know?
I guess seeing redheaded men makes me remember, like my body remembers this terrible life. And so, like the message from this kid was, even you hate me. And
Yeah.
it just broke my heart. Broke my heart. It like cracked it wide open, and it makes me want to cry right now. But yeah, just
We
knowing.
all say that we're not prejudiced, and we're even prejudiced about some things that we don't even realize.
Oh yeah.
Like redheads. I think
Yeah,
I feel a certain way about redheads. Why? I have no clue,
makes no sense.
you know? But I also would never date a blonde either. So,
See, like
you
he's a
know,
blonde. So it didn't make any sense until we did that, and I feel like my heart expanded, and just being able to let that dissipate, and then bringing him in
hmm
makes me just feel so much calmer and better to this today.
well, she's been going through a bunch of emotions, and it just seems like these personalities that came through and these traumatic emotions that have been stored, you know, for these past lifetimes, all came, and it all had to do with something that she's going on, that's going on in her life, or she's feeling right now. And it's really cool that that happened the way it did, you know?
Yeah, that's totally expected at this point. The really cool option happens every time now.
Yeah.
Um, so I was going to ask you, Autumn, when you said that breaks your heart about how the little boy was like, even you hate me now. Does it still break your heart when you think of it right now?
Well, what makes me sad is that I was able to look myself in the face and recognize that there was self-hatred there. Like I could see that. And so, like, and plus, seeing a little kid saying, "Even you hate redheaded men," or "You hate redheaded people," or
That hits you in the belly.
oh my God, it hurt so bad because it was true, and it didn't make any sense. I don't know why. I don't know why it was there, but now I'm knowing that his life was so hard. That's why I don't ever want to experience that again. I don't want to ever go through that. So it was just a reminder of, oh, don't treat people that way.
So you were saying it hurt so bad at that point. Does it still hurt now some? When you think on it, when you think about that? What's your emotion that comes up when you think about how the boy said that to you?
A little bit guilty.
Okay. And what makes you feel guilty for this?
Because I know that I've been like, ugh, like, oh, a redheaded man, and like, no. and I've, like made fun of redheaded men before. Like I told you, my mom and I was like, oh, warlocks are over there, and so it made me feel guilty that this little kid, who's me, suffered so much at the same kind of comments, and then I turned around and did the same thing. So it was just a recognition of how that cycle can happen.
Right. Well,
but
do you feel like
bringing it to the surface makes me feel like I've broken it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Do you feel like you had made some decision on some level to come and have this life that you have? Autumn?
Do I think that I'm agreed to this life?
That some part of you has agreed to you having this experience in this life?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so
that we talked about that because of the timing of how it happened. Because in all reality, this is not where we were headed the other day. And
right.
Then I've never done this exercise with anybody, and when I spoke to her this morning, I said he's going to do something different. I don't know what it is. He says, grab a pen and piece of paper, and we went from there. But the thing of it is for some reason, my recorder said it was recording, and I'm looking at the time to make sure that it's recording. I check constantly. And it did not record but a minute of it. And the thing of it is before we started this exercise with her, he said to get a pen and piece of paper. So she was to write down each experience after it was over with. And thank God that happened, because now her emotions, what the message she needed to learn, everything was there. So that was also another synchronicity,
Right. Well, I had another question that went along with that, Autumn. It was a series of questions that was meant to lead you to a certain place, but the series depended on your answer. Trying to remember the next part.
Did I mess you up? I'm sorry.
No. Your addition is always helpful. So please always add it in.
Well, so your last one was if I think I agreed to have this experience in my life.
Yes.
Right. So you feel like you agreed to have this experience, and if this past life had this situation, then if you were to look at it from the perspective of a higher perspective, saying, okay, now that I've experienced this side of the spectrum, I want to experience something similar because I didn't fix it back then. I didn't grow through that as a redheaded boy. I want to have a similar experience so that I have the opportunity to grow through it again. And so now you have the opportunity. You're redheaded again, and now you have the option to look at redheaded men and be like,
Yeah. That's what we talked about.
And you talked about how your mom was even in on it. You decided to have a mother that was going to promote this idea of icky redheaded men to her redheaded daughter. you know.
Go figure that one.
And
Yeah.
she's redheaded too.
Yes.
Okay, and she's ready. So this was, it sounds like it's all set up on purpose just to get you
Oh,
to a
totally.
point where you can have this
Yes.
sensation of, because you're supposed to have that sensation so that you can be on one side of the spectrum, grow through it, and then understand from both perspectives.
Yeah.
Had you not started off saying, ugh, then you wouldn't be able to understand how it feels to be on the other side. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say the bad guy because there's not really a such thing as good and bad as far as I'm concerned. But on
Just
the
an
other side,
experience.
right.
Yeah.
And so thankfully, it all worked out. And in this life, you got to.
But
But
the thing of it is, the magical thing about it is it chose to come out right here, right now, when she was experiencing some of these feelings of the multitude of the different personalities. You know what I'm saying? She has a little sliver of a feeling from each one of them at this time going on. So
Right.
it's like it blossomed. It came full circle.
Right.
So she could get in touch with why she's feeling what she's feeling. Like she's thinking that it's all right here, right now, or stuff that's happened in the past, in this lifetime, not thinking, oh, wow, look at what this is about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out.
That's the cool thing. That was like really cool. Because we've been we always are working to do work together. I mean,
The funny thing is, tomorrow is the Ginger Fest.
Are you going?
And it's in San Francisco, and my redheaded guy friend was like, "Hey, Ginger one, come, let's go to the Ginger Fest." And I wrote back, "Gross."
No, you got to do it.
Well, I'm going to St. Louis tomorrow, but I know that that totally lined up all so that I would notice that I did have this kind of bad
Experience.
attitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
In case 2 months from now you say, no, that wasn't me, you can look back at your text and be like,
Yes,
oh,
it
yeah,
was.
it's a recorded message,
Yeah, so I'm going to make a special play date with my redheaded guy friend so that he doesn't feel like I think he's gross.
Oh, because he thinks that you were calling him gross, maybe.
Well, I wasn't calling him gross, but just like a ton of redheaded people in one place, I was calling that gross. But
Does he
but I
understand?
think that he thinks I'm a hater, which he's right. So
Yeah, she found out today that it's just, again, synchronicity coming up again.
Right. And
I mean,
technically,
What perfect timing.
he found out that you used to be a hater. You're not a hater
Yes.
anymore.
That's right.
As of today.
Right. You
And I mean it's also feels really nice to know that I'm not just like a naturally mean person, which I don't think that exists, but then it was like this memory that was passed down to me from a really painful life, and and that's what made me shudder about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's really cool
the other
you-
thing that came of that I've been because I've been really processing this one. It's so funny that red hair could cause so much emotion, but but I think about, okay, if that's a plot, if I think about how that could possibly happen for a lot of other people too, it makes me realize how people are racist. It makes me realize how people are sexist. It makes me realize how people have these things that don't make any sense even to them. They don't have any real reason. They're just this.
Well, and if you think about it, in all reality, the prejudice starts right within ourselves.
Yeah.
And the prejudice against each other's learned by people. Because if how many videos have you seen with two children playing, hugging? They're normal together. They're not taught they hate at that point,
Right.
So.
Right. I would imagine that when you were a baby, you probably didn't say, redheaded babies.
Right. Totally.
But I could imagine that that part of the experience required you to have somebody who you listen to, your mom, to say, ugh, redheaded people, and then bam, you got exactly what you wanted, which was to grow through this. And they don't care about timing, but obviously it makes a little difference to you. But now that you got to have this wonderful experience of years of not understanding it and not even realizing that there was something to not understand. And then you got to a point where the opportunity to understand it came, and maybe it got passed up on several occasions. And you start, especially when you're understanding all these other aspects of life, and you're just going down the line, understanding this, that, this, that, this, that, and you're saying, prejudice is so terrible, while you're still doing that.
Holding on to it.
Right. And you really just have the opportunity.
We all do it. Like even black people, they want to judge each other on their own difference in black color. Light skin, dark skin. The white people the same way. I mean, all different. But we do start with the inner prejudice. Oh, my eyes aren't this color, or they're not brown enough, or my skin's not dark enough, but that's also learned by other people too.
Right. I was gonna say, I don't know that we start with that, but we certainly pick it up at some point, And some people have the experience where they don't pick that up, and they don't understand it until they're much older. And then other people, you could say in the United States, for example, get the opportunity to pick up a lot of. I say the United States, but all over the world really, but get the opportunity to pick up a whole lot of it, and we all have this great opportunity to grow through all this stuff and just see how it was, and especially now today, after today, we're going to have these memories of what we thought as kids, and we can actually go back to the first time when we were introduced to racism, for example, or whatever thing it is, and so we can see ourselves on a playground, and then this kid says, "Ooh, your hair is red," and then the response is, "Yeah, and yours is blonde," or whatever, and then next thing you know, you find out that this kid has this certain thought that you'd never heard of, and then on and on. I said red hair because we were just talking about the topic.
But the thing of it is once they give that thought, you start telling the story. When they give that thought out loud to you about even that thought, like you said, your hair is red. She could have had a negative story right then and there, tagged on to that.
Right.
That he's not going to like me because my head's red. Why did he bring up that my hair was red? I'm ugly because my hair is red.
Right.
And then it spindles.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess I look into when I think about what kids have the opportunity to go through now, I feel like I want kids to be protected from that kind of thing to a degree, but I also feel like I want them to understand how it works. I think understanding how it works is beneficial to their development. I mean, it's in my opinion, it's totally okay to go through your life without ever understanding all whatever concepts there are to not understand. But it just seems like with the way the world is right now, it will be convenient for everybody to have the experience of being on one side of the spectrum, even if it's for 5 minutes, and then realizing how it is to actually be on that side, understand that, hey, this can happen, and then jump to the other side and be like, wow, that was an interesting experience, and I'm glad I've been on both sides. I mean, most people, they see it as so negative to be on the other side, but it's just part of the growing experience. You can't grow through it if you didn't start off, if you never got to the other side at some point, and so I'm thankful that everybody I've ever seen has been on some side of that at some point in their life, and can just understand that it can happen to you, with random you, and just be able to go through that. Willanie and I have been growing through a lot of stuff lately. And it's some has been targeted specific stuff, some has been just random stuff. And as I'm growing through these things, I'm so thankful that I have been on the other side of the spectrum, just so that I can understand how it goes. I'm interested in helping people to grow through that kind of stuff too. And if I never went through it myself, how can I relate to them and help them when they grow through it? Technologically, Gail, that was really good where you did the yawn noise and you muted just for that like 3 seconds, and then you unmuted. You were big on my screen because you were the last one to talk, so I thought that was funny.
Oh, no, I was coughing. I wasn't
Oh,
yawning.
you coughed. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't want you to interrupt you.
But I was just saying that looked really smooth, and it looked like you've done this before,
No, but I was getting ready to draw a mustache and a beard. I was looking like, how can I get over there? So, like, do you have an idea of how long until Willanie gets here?
It's funny you say that. She's actually sitting down and plugging in headphones right now. So I would think in a few seconds that it takes her to get on Google. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So theoretically, she'll have the adult voice first time around. We'll see.
It's funny. Last night she came on. She sounded straight like Mickey Mouse or Minnie.
Yeah. I want to test it out real fast. Okay, I'm going to mute my microphone so she can play hers.
How's the cat, Autumn?
Better.
He's better?
Yeah. Did you do something?
I did healing when we talked about him, but that's it. I've tuned in a few times with him. But he's still going to show his ass.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think that'll change too much. But when I had a friend over, he was not such a jerk to my friend who he hates.
Yes.
And he actually was chilling with him, so.
That's cool.
So who he used to hate?
The friend I know of?
Yes.
Yes. That's good.
So, Autumn, I noticed 2 times during this video, I hear myself echoing. Willanie, I guess you don't sound like
Hi,
that.
Willanie.
Hi, I'm back.
Okay. I noticed 2 times that there's an I am or like this is true type of statements that you've made, and for some of the things, 2 times I've noticed that you've said this is true for something that you believe is no longer true, and so that's something that I've done consistently throughout my life until recently, and I started getting an understanding of the significance of doing that, and how saying I am and then the thing that you want is much more profound in your life, and it really helps you to grow into that direction.
Hell yeah, using the I am words is God. I am.
Right. And it's not like you were saying I am about your cat hating the person, but clearly, you said the cat was being really, well, I'm going to paraphrase and say being nice to the person that your cat hates, and it sounds like your cat no longer hates him,
Right.
So I don't know how you like to phrase it, but Willie and I have really been working hard to edit that. So I guess now I just have an ear for that kind of thing, and I know that.
Thank you for pointing that out. That's that's helpful. I can see how it would be powerful to flip that.
Okay. You're welcome. Let's see. What was the thing?
Now let me ask you a question. Are you focusing on the impersonal life and the way out, and that's where you got this? Because that's a big deal in them books.
Um, I don't know that I got it specifically from a book, but more like from 20 sources simultaneously or within the same few months.
Right.
Um, so I couldn't necessarily pinpoint the exact point, but I would guess that I probably first heard it on a Bashar video.
Well,
Because
that's why it's so important to do your positive affirmations with the I am. Because we always like to say, I am tired, I am bitchy, I am this, and that is very dangerous using, the I am.
right. Right. You see how I just typed it in and I didn't say it out loud? There we go.
No,
Oh, that's okay. That's
I
okay.
don't think so.
Okay. Well,
Right,
well,
Gail?
okay. What'd you say?
Oh, no, you don't. No,
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think you do.
Okay. Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
That must
no,
have been for Gail, not for me. Okay.
no. It's a
But I know
mother.
who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
So,
So let's move
anyway,
on.
right. So,
So how's Melanie doing?
awkward.
I heard echo.
Heidi, what do you guys think about doing some type of meditation and try to get into some channeling?
Sure.
I have to wonder if it's even worth doing all the meditation and all that other stuff prior to doing the channeling. What if we just tried channeling without all that
All right,
and just
let me.
just see if it's just as easy?
It is just as easy. I just wanted to have a moment of silence though. I need some centered time.
Do you?
All right, I do, yeah.
Because you speak.
I'm going to
Center or not?
I'm going to remove the cat because he's trying to play with me.
Oh, okay.
Come on, now.
I guess what I was starting to bring up, telling Gail, but I'll tell you guys. We tend to do a lot of stuff whether or not we're perfectly centered. And obviously being centered helps. But I've seen a lot of indication that you don't have to be perfectly centered to be able to do these things. Gail is a really good example. She speaks to spirit all day long, regardless of how centered she is. And I think that we all have the ability to do these things without actively having to center ourselves each time. And I really feel like we all have the ability to channel and do all these things without spending, let's say, more than 5 seconds of preparation time. And by me saying not more than 5 seconds, probably just instantly, is what I meant to say. But Gail, I'm not sure how much you picked up on that. But
I think that she got that message earlier today as well, Khalil. So it's of course.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree. I mean,
She didn't want to start my session without getting grounded and doing a meditation, and Jay just made you go right into it, and it was perfect.
mm-hmm.
Oh.
look at that timing. Don't we expect this kind of thing now?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. But I know that I drank a cup of coffee, so I would have some pep in my step when I did this. So I know that caffeine is in my system. So I knew I just needed a chance to unwind. So I'm just gonna shut my mouth and sit back.
I almost want to distract you. I want to prevent you from doing that, just so we can see if it works without you doing all the preparation. I really do feel like none of us need all that preparation, and all of us could just jump right into it.
It's all up here. It's
Right,
all
right.
up here.
Gil, I noticed you said that you need, and then you'd say whatever it is that you need, but you would say that you need and then talk about doing all these steps. But you've done things a lot more, I'll call it powerful, but that's not really an accurate word, a lot more powerful than just doing what we're about to do without any preparation. In fact, while you're in a really excited state, you know. So I would think that you, or really none of us, but you probably wouldn't need to counteract the caffeine. You could probably do all this stuff with the caffeine and not really notice a difference if you can convince yourself to believe that you don't need to do it that way. So what do you think? See, now I can see Gail extra quiet, trying to calm herself down and counteract the caffeine. Okay, maybe next time. So what are we going to do? Just, are we going for channeling right now? What'd you say?
Did you want to do a group channel?
Definitely. But I wasn't saying that we need to do it right now, but I do expect that we'll do it tonight. What were the things that we had just named? Gail, I think you had named 2 or 3 events that we could do. Obviously, one was channeling, but what were the other ones?
Oh, I thought we could discuss like the astral travel, what you guys were learning, if we could tap into that, even try to do that together, channeling, dream interpretation, any of these things, sacred circuitry or symbolism, you know, whatever floats our boats, something new. Remote viewing, maybe come up with something in an envelope. Let's see if we can tune in. Have an itinerary of what we'd like to do at these classes. I think would give people more drive to say, oh, shit, they're doing remote viewing tonight. I want to be there. You know? So
Yeah, fun.
I was hoping more, you know, I think maybe more people show up or not. I don't know. It is what it is. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. I mean, Anne is scheduled to show up tonight at some point. We already expect her to be later than her normal late time, so I think we'll still be on when she gets in. But outside of Anne, is anybody really planning on joining too?
I didn't get any replies.
Okay.
And I don't know, after you left with Celissa, she didn't seem too thrilled about the Psychic Academy, whether she wanted to come back or not. You know, I was like, I'd like to keep this going, and I don't know. So we'll play that by ear. Whatever happens, happens. I invited her tonight. We'll see.
Yeah. Did she suggest that she might not be able to make it tonight, but she could make it later?
I don't know. There might be something on Facebook. I'm not sure.
Okay. Seems like I watched the video earlier, and maybe she said something like she might not be able to make it on Friday, but maybe some other day. But a lot of people were talking. I don't remember who said what this.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I really feel like it's worth just talking about this quick topic related to getting signals and getting messages before we do the channeling. And I feel like this is supposed to facilitate our channeling. Anyway, do you guys get feelings about things? Look at Willanie and her trance state. Do you guys get feelings about things? And it's a strong enough feeling to where you know that there's communication to you to do this thing. Gail, I know you get it all day long. So I guess I'm really just talking to Willanie and all.
The question is, do we get messages throughout the day?
Do you get messages of any type, whether it's an obvious message or just an impulse to do something?
Yes.
Okay. And are these impulses to do something that seem like it's fun to do?
Yes. Usually, it's trying to think if there's an impulse to do something terrible, but I don't think
Okay.
I mean, there's shopping impulses.
Right.
They're not always good.
Right, those aren't always good, but
They're fun as hell.
but I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Willie?
I guess they're really not as visible. I know I see signs of certain things, like I'll see maybe a bunch of birds fly, or something will attract my attention, and I'm wondering why, and then later I kind of figure it out. Kind of smart.
Okay. I've been paying a lot of. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
How about you?
For me, I've been paying a lot of attention to that exact thing for, I don't know, a couple of months now. Not that I wasn't paying any attention before then, but I'm noticing a lot more now. And I'm recognizing when it's an impulse, when it's one of those impulses, or just something random. And I'm finding that a lot of those something random impulses were actually those impulses the whole time. And now that I can recognize that, I can act on those things, and a lot of times have tangible benefits quickly after. Some of the things that I learned came from talking to other people, just having communication with somebody about the stuff, and they're talking about their life, and I say, oh, this is what I noticed about you. And then I might say, yeah, I'm the same way, but that doesn't happen to me. And then it's like, wait a second, I'm the same way. So that does happen to me. Oh, we're in the same boat. Yeah. In a sense, I was talking to myself, but when you point that finger, the other three fingers are pointing back at you.
Mm-hmm. You're so deep. He's always so deep.
And this has really allowed me to grow, in my opinion, exponentially. Just talking to other people and hearing what they're saying about their situations, recognizing, oh, this is clearly blank. And then I'll actually tell them right after, but I'm not clearly in the same boat, or it's different for me, and it's not. I think when I first joined the Psychic Academy, I was telling everybody, I was just a regular guy. I never had any psychic stuff all my life. I've never experienced anything psychic related until this, and I analyzed it, and I really honestly didn't think that I had. And I thought about it a whole lot. It's not like I just didn't think about it. And after I was able to recognize some of these things, I then realized I had been doing it and practicing it consistently, and just didn't even know it. So
just like you noticing that she's in a trance as she's sitting there.
Right.
Same thing. Like, you've always had psychic abilities.
Yeah, and had no idea. And thought, I want them. I don't know how to get them, but I want them.
And don't you remember at a young age that you learned that I keep going against my gut feeling, my intuition, and things go wrong? Do you remember learning that?
No.
You don't?
Let's say I did learn it. I don't remember it.
No.
But I think that as a kid, I conformed to the norm really early on. And so I didn't waste any time conforming to the system. And not in every way, but in a lot of ways. And, I was always different in my own ways, but I followed the rules a lot. And it's not like the rules that make sense, it's the rules that they provided. And I just went along with it because that's what you're supposed to do, I thought. And so anyway, it's likely that, when I do these memorization exercises, or I say memorization, memory exercises, then I'll probably be able to just go back to those times and see where I went from psychic Khalil to non-psychic, because that stuff isn't real Khalil, and really be able to see that point. I'm interested in seeing what
It
happens.
would have been when you were 2 and 3 and 4 years old. It started when you were daydreaming. The parents used to hit you like, "Yo, what are you doing? Daydreaming? You're not supposed to be daydreaming." You know, things like that.
Right. Yeah, stuff like that all the time.
Do you remember that? Like, quit your daydreaming, slapping you upside your head. I know I remember it.
Not necessarily that strongly, but certainly pay attention. And at some point, I paid a lot of attention, and I was.
Well, see,
I
I was
was
the opposite of you. I was the one not listening to what the people said. I was the one. I seen something on Facebook post of ballerinas all lined up, and then the girl upside down with her leg wrapped around the pole. That was me, and getting in trouble for being like that. That
Right.
I mean, really. So.
You know, that was my sister. She wouldn't necessarily get in trouble for being like that, but it bothered me so much as a kid when she would be that kid. And I remember her playing soccer, and I had played soccer for years, and so I knew what soccer is supposed to look like. And I see all the kids running and the ball over here, and she's over there just looking at a butterfly or just looking in the air. Doing like this. And it bothered me so much. Go, 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 run to the ball, go, go. And she'd just be daydreaming, you know.
Yeah.
And I felt like, what's the point of even being out there if you're not even going to pay attention? And I was already 100% into it. You know,
Yeah, you're your dad's child, though, too.
Yeah.
That's his words. You know?
Yeah. And my dad was more like that, and my mom was a lot like that.
Yeah.
And so I was getting it from both sides, and trying to do the right thing. I went ahead and just followed along, and it felt natural and right at some point. Yeah, I guess natural. Natural to pay attention to things, and here we are. So anyway, that was a lot of tangents. What'd you say, Gil?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that was a lot of tangents. So I don't even know where it was going at that point.
What I'm wondering, Willanie, what happened with your visit with your parents?
Oh, it went well. I was able to talk to them individually in a place that wasn't the house. I didn't get a chance to really do it outside because the weather is either really hot or rainy. But I was able to talk to them about my childhood and bring up a lot of things that I held on to for whatever reason, and I was letting it go as I talked to them, and I was able to get a way closer connection with my dad. I'm sure it's because we're such alike that way we bumped heads growing up.
Sure, yeah.
And then also my mom, like she opened up with a lot of stuff too that I didn't know she would probably let out or let me know. The same for my dad. Like it was very, very touching.
Yeah.
And, both were like thanking me for doing it at the end and felt a lot closer. So that was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Autumn did the same.
I did.
Cool.
It's very freeing.
Yeah. I did it with also all of my ex-boyfriends, and I plan on doing it. I did it with one of my older brothers, my half brother, and then another brother and some friends I want to do, and because I feel like there's something still holding me. Yeah.
Oh, you do. You have to do it all the way around. Everything.
And then myself.
Yeah. Well, yourself is most important.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I know I'd never got a chance to touch base with you after that. So I talked to Khalil, and Khalil's like, yeah, everything went wonderful. I was like, I knew it did, but I was waiting.
Yeah. I'm sorry for that. We ended up, I remember you said it would be like 2 hours for my dad. It ended up feeling maybe like 6 hours. When I got home, Khalil was like, where were you?
Oh, good.
We were like, I only thought it was like 3 hours or something. It was like, yeah, it was a while.
It went quick.
Yeah, it did. But it was a good quick, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It was like they went to work and came back.
Yeah.
Do you find it awkward to reach out to some of like your exes, and was it awkward for you?
It was at first because I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Let me just let Khalil know so that way it won't feel super awkward. And then I think the more awkward part was when I got a response from one of them. And he really opened up and told me things that I had no idea about. And Khalil even helped me to interpret some stuff because I'm like, I didn't get that from that. But he was like, yeah, this is what he's saying. And
wow.
And I had welcomed all of them to respond back or to let me know that they read it. But I said it's not required or anything like that. But it was just interesting to hear back because growing up, I don't know, I made a belief that whenever I broke up with someone, it would take a year to just, get through whatever I felt was whatever with the relationship and that I could move on and then I could be friends with them. And I guess just after a year, you lose touch and move on.
Yeah.
And
But you stored all that.
Right, and I detached parts of me that I should have, kept with me because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing the forgiveness part of it, I really was able to open back up some stuff that I didn't even remember or think about during that time.
Melanie, where do you think that belief came from, that you needed that year-long grieving?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. Because really, I grew up as a single child, so a lot of things I saw through TV. So I watched a lot of movies.
I was going to say like Sally Jesse Raphael. Like,
yeah, I used to watch that.
Yeah, that's what Jay is saying. You heard it from a TV show,
wow.
Like one of them talk shows.
Yeah.
And he said like Sally Jesse Raphael, and I didn't watch that, so I don't know. So that's probably so. That's really cool.
Yeah. Thanks.
But you know what? I did some really cool work with Autumn today that I'll be doing with you pretty soon as well. And it turned out extraordinary. And Khalil, I'm not forgetting about you. I just want to work with your wife first, and then you second. It's not me. It's Jay. How he's doing it.
Okay, that works.
He likes how the balance works this way. But don't ever think that he's forgotten you, because he doesn't. And I know you get a certain type of way about him, so that's why I wanted to say something.
You say I get a certain type of way about him?
Well, you say sometimes he don't talk to me, and I wonder why. So I just want to make sure that he's saying something.
I don't know that I felt exactly like that. I think
well, you know what I mean.
Right.
I don't, I just wanted you to understand he's saying that he's going to be working with you as long as you're willing, but we're going to get through willing first. Okay. He says that's a good balance that way.
Okay.
Well, that works for me.
Yeah. Well, I worked with another couple, and he said no, they had to do it at the same time. Well, you guys are different.
Interesting.
That wasn't no X's now, willingly, was it? No, just kidding. Bad gal, man, no.
Oh no, she dropped off.
Oh.
Right after that. It's like a comedian after a good joke, they just drop the mic and the show's over. Like.
That's great.
So sorry.
Okay, it still says live.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still recording though.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems as though it is. I just want to keep you on your toes, Khalil. Sorry about that.
That was cool.
There was so the same question I'd asked to Women in Autumn, I wanted to compare that, Gil, to how it works for you.
For me, I kind of feel like I'm never alone. I have this conversation, and it's not the conversation that I used to have with myself, which would be about self-confidence and worthiness, and now it's kind of like I'm not the only one planning my day. Well, really, I'm not the one planning my day at all. But I feel like I have a lot of coercion. How do you say that? Coerced. I'm coerced, right? So I'm coerced all day long into like, even remember that time where I said they're telling me to go sleep out on the porch. I was like, but I listen. If it's something good, and I listen.
Right.
And I just think it's really cool, that I started trusting, and now I'm traveling like you two. You trusted when you went to California and you felt them feelings, and you trusted it, and you started acting on it. You're manifesting it, If you didn't listen, this wouldn't be happening.
Right. What you brought up a good point, how you feel like you're not really the one planning your day. I feel like that too. If someone is acting on those, then they're not planning their day. But I feel like we can make our own decision to plan our day, and it just goes however it's going to go. But if we plan our day in a way that doesn't match what's intended, then we just get what we get, and it's probably not going to be as nice.
Well, I believe that our guides are trying to steer us most of the time, and if our intuition, and like the Autumn loves to say that I'm saying I'm grounding myself so I can listen to these messages. The more that I quiet my mind and I stay in I am presence, I can hear the messages a lot clearer. Sometimes I have messages going on as I'm playing on my phone because, the Illuminati does not want us to pay attention to our intuition. They want us to be on the computer, to multitask on the phone, on the computer, and then to have the TV on at the same time. I took the TV out. I just put the TV in, and I just learned. I was like, what are you doing? Take the TV back out of the room. Now you have more electronics. They're just trying to keep us preoccupied so we don't wake up and we're not aware of what's going on.
I feel like that's one of those situations, the Illuminati thing. That's one of those situations where, we invite this kind of thing into our reality specifically so that we can have this type of experience to grow through. Kind of like the stuff we were talking about earlier. I feel like it's the exact same thing. We don't have to have that kind of thing in our reality, but we do because it's something that on a higher level we chose that we want to experience and grow through, or have the opportunity to grow through, at least.
Yeah, to grow through, I think, to be able to conquer, because they're folding right now.
Right.
So, and then we move on to a higher vibration because they no longer have control over us. But even in these Dolores Cannon books, they said that this is all, it's all part of a grand scheme of things. Without them, without the dark, how could you see the light? Or why would you go towards the light if the dark is trying to suppress you? So it's all of the big divine plan.
Right.
But I'm feeling this scarcity online now about the month of September, where it's the end and the return is coming, the collapse of the dollar, all this stuff. I don't tune into that. I try to just stay with the light and the love part. I don't. It's because it's not part of my reality. I just make steps towards enlightening and doing the best that I can.
The way I feel about that kind of thing, at least at this moment, might be different 5 minutes, but I feel like the whole thing about September, to somebody who sees that as a bunch of negative stuff, then they're going to expect a bunch of negative stuff. They're asking to experience a bunch of negative stuff, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Somebody else who just sees it as something that somebody out there saying, and technically, I don't know if whoever said that is accurate, but what I do know is that I'm not going to be going through that kind of stuff personally. If the dollar collapses, if all these things happen, then so be it. I know I'll still be okay, and I'll be really happy in the process. There won't be some level of suffering because of all that stuff for me. And you know, one of the things that Willie and I have done is we've just stopped watching news or collecting information on news altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know about that kind of stuff unless somebody tells us,
Mm-hmm.
or unless we kept some form of media, probably on the HNet or something, where they talk about it. But usually we just miss that stuff. You know, sometimes somebody will say, "Oh, did you hear about that thing that's going on with that person?" You know, and it's like, no, you know, not only did I not hear about it, but I really don't care. You know, it's not that there's a sense of apathy, but it's that I have an understanding that these kinds of things happen to, you know, there are billions of people in the world, so to millions of people all the time, and just because the news focuses on this one doesn't mean that it's something that I need to focus on too. I mean, Gail, kind of like you were saying, you know, there's some force out there that wants us to focus on what they want us to focus to, and I've come to an understanding that I want to focus on what I want to focus on, and I know that it doesn't match whatever their agenda is, and so I just completely cut it out. You know, the whole September thing. The way I feel about it is, whatever. Whatever happens, happens, and whoever's not worried about it, and it's on a different level, won't be poorly affected by it. So we'll see how it goes. What is that?
I haven't heard anything about September.
I haven't either.
What something?
There's people just claiming doom and gloom, and realistically, Autumn and Willie, it's great that you guys haven't even heard about it. That's perfect.
We will remain unaffected.
Right,
Yeah.
right. As for Gail and I, we already got hit a little bit.
Yeah, but the thing of it is they're saying the collapse of the dollar. So I have some stocks. I am going to cash them in. I don't care if it, you know,
So
because the collapse.
information that they're feeding you, or actually, it's not. I don't even know the sources of this stuff, but is the news saying this too?
I don't know. I don't listen to the news. I have my news is Facebook, and that's bad enough. Thank you very much. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and it doesn't really matter. I was thinking about just getting rid of it anyhow, you know. So I'm just going to cash it in. So if it does, I won't
You'll
worry
have that
about
money
it.
for Hawaii now.
That's what I thought. Yeah, or hide it under my mattress and have it for when I get back.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, but and I am going to do perishable goods because I live in Florida and a hurricane can keep us down for a couple of weeks. You know, so I'm starting to save water. Yeah, am I packing perishable foods? A little bit. You know.
Are you doing that since you heard the September news?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a good example. You're acting on
Out of fear.
negative, fearful information.
Yeah.
And if you're putting that into your reality, if you're acting on it, then on some level, let's just call it the universe is saying,
I'm just kidding.
look, this is what she wants to experience. Let's give it to her. And you're more likely to be ill-affected by that kind of thing. Whereas somebody like Willie and Autumn, they don't even know what it is outside of what you and I just talked
What
about.
we're talking about, yeah. Did you see me pretend to yawn? I was like, I'm sitting in the dark so you didn't see me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When I talk now, it shows Melanie on the screen
Yeah.
instead of you, so it's,
Yeah.
it's not as obvious now. But yeah, it's the kind of thing where I used to think about that kind of stuff a lot. I used to act on that when I was doing a QHHT session with a guy. I don't know, like a month ago. We were talking about how this was a black guy, so we were talking about how most black males in America believe in a lot of these conspiracy theories, and it had to do with upbringing and things that we saw that made us think that, well, if that's happening, then why wouldn't these other things happen? And then I was talking to him, and I was realizing, that stuff, I don't even care. I don't think about that stuff. I don't act on it anymore. I used to, and it's not like I went out and did things based on it, but I thought about it enough to where it was on my mind. I'd look at information on those things and be looking it up and trying to understand how and why and when and all that stuff. And now I'm at a point where I realize that that's only hindering the progress that I'm looking to make. I'm not looking to make more progress in that direction. I'm looking to make more progress in
Yeah, it's not part of your reality. It's only
Right.
part of our reality if we let it be. But like the synchronicity of seeing this about to gather your water and your perishables, I need to pay attention to that because it's coming up a little too much, and I know we're due for hurricanes, so I'm paying attention. Not out of fear, really. I mean, out of practicality and a lot of fear. No, just kidding.
So,
Yeah.
so then I have to ask, what has Jay warned you about regarding this?
Whatever happens, I'm going to be just fine. I'm going to be in Hawaii with my buddy Autumn.
Yeah, I haven't
when
heard anything, so we're cool.
Yeah, when the shit hits the fan.
Stop talking about it, because if you mess up Hawaii for us, I'm going to cut you.
No, it happens like when we're there, afterward come back or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Supposedly, nothing's going to happen. We're going to have fun and fall in love and all of that stuff.
Not with each other, you guys.
No.
So I'm
We
just going to
already
make
love each other.
I'm going to make up an
A long
example.
time ago.
All right, he's got an example. This is going to be deep.
of how all these things that people are talking about can happen simultaneously. And so Gail, when you were following your excitement, you ended up planning a trip to go to Hawaii with Autumn. First, you were planning on going to Hawaii at a certain date, and the next thing you know, through excitement, Autumn was like, "Hey, wait for me when I go a little bit later." Coincidence, right? And then and then that was all out of excitement. That was all out of fun and joy and all these great things. Those impulses. Autumn, I don't know if you recognized it at that point as being one of those things, but now that we're talking about it, it sounds like it was one of those things.
Yeah.
And I mean, because it sounds. Some people might say, "Oh, that I'm being greedy, trying to make Gail change her plans for me," but it wasn't even that kind of thing. It was excitement. It's going to be so much fun if we do it this way, and that's where it came from.
The first thought was, oh my gosh, that's like 6 weeks away from when I want to go, but it's a possibility, and I left it go.
Right.
In the thin air, and then the next thing you know, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Right. And this kind of thing, those excitements, those positive feelings, those positive impulses, got you guys, or Gail specifically, got you out of Florida at that time. I mean, how else were you going to be out of Florida with the things you've been?
She's got me out of Florida twice.
Right. But how else would you be out of Florida at that time from any other way? Because according to the original plans, you would have been gone. You would have been back by then. So
Yeah.
anyway, if things were to go down, you wouldn't be there for it. You'd come back and you'd see some beat up stuff, and
I wouldn't come back.
right, or you just wouldn't come back.
Oh, no. I'd stay there. I'd have to make sure that his kids came and got him and helped him.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, no. I'd stay because the airlines would be down. Autumn would be stuck with me. Oh, hell yeah. We'll have a good time.
Right.
We'll live in Dolphin Land. I can see it now. The pitch a 10 up on the beach. Yes.
So packing all that stuff in that scenario that we just co-made up, it wouldn't make any difference because you weren't going back anyway.
Yeah, I'm staying.
I would imagine that
The money, if the dollar collapsed, the airline's not going to fly me anywhere, right? Because as far as they're concerned, they got an IOU note. They never got a damn dime in their pocket.
Right.
My credit card company said, we'll pay you later. So
Right.
everything would come to a halt. Gasoline, everything, bazoom. It would be nobody's moving. Panic. The world would be in panic. But me and Autumn would be happy. We'd be with the Dolphins.
Right.
I mean, what could we do? Oh,
You'd have to go to the fruit trees and pick fruit off the tree and eat
Yeah,
it.
I was just gonna say we're gonna have pineapple drinks and.
my stuff. I'm so worried about my stuff.
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right.
I let go of my stuff a couple months ago.
Nice.
I don't have anything that holds me.
That's great.
So
You're getting rid of your stuff. Wait until all your stuff is gone, and then it's just you. It's the greatest feeling in the world. And then the next time, you're not going to get as much stuff. Why do you want that stuff again? Do you want that stuff?
no.
Really.
Not really. You
Yeah.
didn't need
No.
all that stuff. You got all that stuff because the society said you should have that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
15 suits you don't wear, right?
Yeah.
10 pairs of
Maybe
shoes you don't wear. What's that?
That's what I was thinking.
I said, well, maybe Willie.
I was thinking dresses. Dang, she's on it again.
Yeah. You don't wear them, put them on. You got that app on your phone.
Yeah. You're right.
Clear it out. Clear it out.
Yeah.
What is it? What stuff? It's stuff.
Right. So true.
You guys, I have to pop off. Got some plans. I'm headed out.
All right,
Okay.
listen.
Okay.
The
Well,
next
enjoy
time
yourself.
we get together, we're really going to channel. It's going to be Wednesday, right, guys?
Okay.
So I like the idea of creating the schedule so that people can see what the topics are for the next couple of sessions. Like, even if we just send out an email after tonight and say we'll do remote viewing on next week and channeling the next week or whatever. What do you guys think?
I love his face. He always reminds me of Bewitched when he does this with his nose. I think that we should definitely plan on channeling the next class. And do you think the following that Wednesday's class will channel, and Friday we could maybe get some astral travel in there?
Yes.
Could someone teach energy healing and maybe some type of cleansing? Because I would like to try more of that.
Well, I can do something about energy, and I know that Ann in the future is going to teach something
Okay, cool.
about energy and healing
Okay, cool.
as well. But I mean, what I know, Khalil knows.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
as far as energy and healing, you
Mhm.
got to take your power. You know, you have it.
Mhm.
You know, you activate your hands.
Mhm.
You know, this really works for me.
Cool.
And then when I'm through, I can feel both hands, the chakra in the hands just spinning. I feel it.
Cool.
Do this with your hands right now. And just know that you're activating your palm chakras.
Nice.
And these are white lights. It's just as bright as your third eye. Hold your hands up towards your face.
Okay.
You feel that?
I do.
Wow. I mean, so like cleanse your aura with that.
Okay.
Just kind of wipe that, you know? And I kind of just take that sometimes and, you know?
I'm doing my solar plexus. I know I just look like I'm looking at you.
But I mean, I believe whatever you believe is so, it becomes so with the energy work. And the further you are away from somebody, the stronger it becomes.
Okay.
Like, just right now, I would like for you to close your eyes. And I'm just going to work on you for a second. Matter of fact, both of you close your eyes. I'm going to work on both of you.
Well, I was going to close mine anyway.
You know, when I go in with both of your energy, I feel like you're so much negativity of stored, I guess, emotion is been dissipating. Like you guys have been on kind of I don't know, like the last week or two might have been a little emotional roller coaster. Because stuff was really coming out, and it is coming out.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you? Because when I'm in your energy field, I just see a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, you're right. We have been having a lot of things coming out that haven't been in sync with us.
Yeah, for him more so than you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're more verbal about it. He's more in his head about it.
Right. Right.
So you gotta talk more about this. And
Okay.
humble yourself, and it's not. Sometimes you're taking this on like you're the big secure guy. Remember I said let that bike go. Let it go. Let your own training wheels off of your own bike. You know, sometimes you understand what he's saying there?
Oh gosh. I want to understand. I think I'm missing the point.
Okay.
let me
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what I do. Oh, go ahead. Oh, Will and Niece. Okay, so I feel like to some degree I may be missing the point because right now I'll have the feeling I'll go within, look for what's going on, see how and why and all the stuff, and try to get down to the bottom of it, repair whatever it is, and keep it, and then I'll tell Willanie about it. But typically, I specifically don't tell her about it right when it happens. I'll wait until I resolve it on my own and then tell her about it. And
Don't do that.
okay.
They're asking that you share it because there's a lot coming up within speaking your truth.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not always about solving it. Sometimes it's about the journey. Everything's not going to be solvable. You have such a logical mind, you know, and your spirituality and your logical mind are like, they're crashing together, and your spirituality is winning over, but you're learning to relax, you know. But yeah, just you know how she kind of leans on you? Lean on her a little more. You know, you've really never leaned on anybody, and it's humbling experience for you. And it's good to show your weak side, because it's there. It's just you don't show it. And it's not going to make Willanie any, like, say, insecure. It's actually going to lift her up more because she can, like, take you into her bosom saying, like, I'm here. I'm here. Look in here. I'm right here. Oh, my gosh. I'm getting, this is powerful stuff. Jay is giving me goosebumps everywhere. So, yeah, understand that.
You know, I feel like there are times when I have the opportunity to do that, and I guess logically, I think that it's not that I'm trying to protect Willanie by not showing her that necessarily, but I guess in a sense that's the result. It's not that I'm actively thinking I need to protect Willanie by not.
I think it's a learned emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like hooked onto them old stories. So, like, you're taught to buck up and be a man. You know, so you're trying to erase them old stories, and the only way to do that is to do something differently, and that would be to go ahead and the raw emotion, show the fear. Because you've been taught that that's not what a man does, and that is what a man does. You know? So you have to learn how you, as your new profound person, as a man, as a black man, who you're walking into a whole new, not even personality, but a whole new you. You know? It's your spiritual self, and you're it's a little uncomfortable, you know, to what's what, to feel your way around, and that's what you're doing right now. You're becoming into your spiritual path, you know, and trying to get rid of them old belief systems and them old stories.
Gil, is this part of the reason that I felt like this, and I just wanted to see if you resonate with this too, that Jay was saying we need to get Willanie done first before me?
I believe so.
I really feel like that's a big part of it. You know, some part of me, and maybe it's not, you know, I don't think it's necessarily specifically about Willanie, but about my comfort level in doing that after I know Willanie is at a point where I think she can take it. I don't that's me simplifying it, but I think it boils down to a lot of that. I think a lot of the stuff that that I suppress, that I don't say, doesn't get said because I don't want to upset Willanie.
Mm-hmm.
And I get reinforcement to show that, hey, every once in a while I'll try it out, and that's what happens. And then I say, okay, not gonna do that until later on when I think she's able to, she's ready. And I feel like that happens every once in a while, and so I get that reinforcement, and I just turn around and I just go the other way instead of pushing through it. Now, by me pushing through it,
fear pops up, baby. Fear pops up.
Right.
So face that fear, and you're doing that story. You're saying how she's feeling and what she. Whoa. That has to do with you. It has nothing to do with her.
Right.
So why don't you take that Byron Katie and go to that on YouTube and download their worksheet. I think it's byronkatie.com/worksheet, and do some work on that tomorrow.
Okay.
That's going to be really good for you. But let me tell you something. You have this little boy in you right now that's bursting to get at, and he's saying, "Why do I always gotta wait?" And you know that. You know this resonates with you because I'm ready to cry. You know that little boy. You can feel him right now. I feel him right now, and I'm really, really tearing up. And he's there with you, and you feel him, and he's like, "Why do I have to always wait? Why is Jay telling me I got it?" But this is part of your journey. You know, you're not the victim, you're the victor. So know that. And it's taking you through some things right now that you have to be taken through. And be raw, he says, be raw.
Okay,
but we're going to, what he would like you to do is tonight when you lay down with Willanie next to you, I want you to just take a second of quiet and say out loud in front of Willanie, who's inside here right now that wants to come out, and let him come out and talk, because he's ready to do so. He's going to tell you the message. He's going to tell you who he is. He's going to tell you what he's feeling. And all you need to do is acknowledge him. And he's not from this lifetime. Okay? So this little boy that's fighting to come out, I see his hands like pounding. Let me out right now. So it's important that you let him out. And I'm willing to let him out with you right now. But he said to do it with Willanie.
That's interesting that you brought that up, because I've been having feelings like we should channel and do stuff together, but we've been doing our own stuff and busy with moving and everything.
Right. Okay, so now he's going to do that, and he's going to talk his thing through. Both of you are going to have a pen and piece of paper. You're going to get some profound results from this. Then he would like Willanie to go first, and you just listen. But you go first and be raw with whatever's coming up. Okay. If you need to cry, this is going to bring up tears. Khalil, cry. Sob like a baby. Crawl up into the fetal position. I could feel your knees having to be drawn up. Draw them up. She's there. She'll hold you through this. And Willanie, just be a supportive partner. Don't do anything. Let him feel through it. You just have him in your arms. Don't pat him. Don't try to change his feelings. Just hold him and just sit back. You don't have to tell him you're there because he knows you're there. And vice versa, the same thing. Okay? This is going to be a really good exercise. Hopefully Wednesday we will channel.
Okay.
And so, yeah, Jay says you guys ought to take some time. Oh. Never mind. I got to talk to Willanie for a second. So God bless you, baby. Could you go off and go into another room?
Yeah, and just keep in mind that it's still live right now. So if you want to talk to Willany without me getting it, probably need to cut off the live part.
I am.
Okay.
I realize it. Okay.
All right.
Hold on, Willany. I got to get my mouse.
All right, be back. I'm gonna mute my side.
All right. Well,